I'm trying to figure out how to be respectful about what I'm going to say next, but hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you where I've been for the past month. This is the longest I've gone without posting on YouTube in over 5 years, so I have some explaining to do, definitely. And I want to share with you guys what's been happening over the course of a month because a lot has happened. And I just need to vent to you guys and get it off my chest. So let's hop right into this. First, let me give a shout out to my very much appreciated Patreon members. Thank you guys so much for hanging there with me and just continuing to support me and follow my life and my journey and my trials and tribulations. And if you guys want to get to know me on a deeper level and see tons of exclusive content that I don't post anywhere else, definitely join my Patreon. I think you'll really enjoy it. So yes, I'm back. As many of you know, I've taken a break from posting and sharing my life on YouTube. And this happened kind of unexpectedly, and a lot of events fed into my reasoning behind taking a break from YouTube. But I can officially say that my hiatus is over and I'm back to posting regularly on here. I will be continuing to post 2 videos a week. Excuse me, I might be a little rusty because, again, guys, it feels a little bit strange because I haven't posted a video in so long, but bear with me. So I'll be back to posting 2 videos a week, and I'm going to be sharing my life with you guys and sharing all of my journeys with you guys and all of my experiences, because that's why I started my YouTube channel back in 2017, and I don't want to change that or end that because I really enjoy posting videos and I really enjoy seeing your commentary and hearing your feedback on the topics that I speak about. So let's get into why March was such a crazy month for me. And when I say crazy, that's honestly an understatement because so much has happened. More than I think has happened in previous years of my life. But, you know, sometimes we have these periods in our lives where a lot does seem to happen in such a close proximity of time, but it builds so much character and you learn so much about yourself and so much about what you want to have in your life in the future and what you don't want to have in your life. So let's get started. So the first thing that happened in March, which is a good thing, is I hired my first ever personal assistant. So I'm going to call him Ted. I don't want to expose his name, but we'll call him Ted for the sake of the video. And I met Ted through a mutual friend of mine back in August of 2022. And I knew that he was kind of searching for direction in a way, but at the time I was so busy with my launches and my fall collection and my winter collection. And I was also dating somebody, so I didn't really have a lot of time or desire to, really get to know him on that level and see if he was going to be a right fit for me. So for Super Bowl Sunday, I saw him at a party and he came to me and he was like, "Hey, do you need help with your candle business?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do actually." And he was like, "Well, I watch your YouTube videos and I really enjoy the content that you make and I would love to help you with that as well." And I was like, "Awesome, dude." And he was even mentioning that he wanted to make videos with me on my OF. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. So we ended up meeting in person at a Starbucks and we spoke about everything. And, I just came to him and I was like, I don't think OF or CB is going to be a good fit for us together. I really enjoy what I do on there already. So I thought that this guy is so sweet and so innocent. I don't want him to go down that path. I just didn't see it really prospering either. I saw it as more of a easy way out for him, and I wanted to at least teach him some skills that I've learned through video production and content creation and candle making and so much more, because I could tell that he just needed to gain experience and gain new skills. So let's fast forward to the first week that we worked together. Everything went great. He was a little bit late. Actually, he was 2 hours late the first week on one of the days. We started Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and it was 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. But I was like, okay, we're all human. I called him, he overslept, and I kind of put my boss pants on in a way, which I enjoyed, kind of being a leader and having somebody that depends on me. There's just something that I found comforting about that, because it made me feel like I need to have myself together at all times because someone was depending on me, and it's just like a great way to hold myself accountable. So after the first week, he had to skip a day on the following Monday, and one of his friends actually passed away in his hometown. So that was really tough, I think, for him to deal with. And I'm trying to figure out how to be respectful about what I'm going to say next, but I did mention to you guys that I met him through a mutual friend of mine. And this particular friend I've known for the past 5 years, and he's helped me out so much in my life. He's introduced me to new, diverse friends that I otherwise probably would have never met without him. And I've just networked so much through him. He's shared so many trips with me and showed me all these beautiful locations in Arizona that I never knew about. And I was just so grateful to have met him in the way that I did. We were great friends. I learned so much about being a young gay man through being friends with him. He was kind of like my chosen father figure when I needed one the most. I met Ted through Todd, kind of a tongue twister there, and everything was good. Todd would text me and be like, yeah, I'm happy for you, and I'm proud of you for what you're doing for Ted, because he needs the help. He needs, a fire under his behind sometimes. And I'm like, I do too, but I also need a lot of help. And he was starting to help me out a lot. Like, Ted would walk Lucky throughout the day, and I was teaching him how to make candles. I was also teaching him how to start editing videos. But again, guys, it was only the first week, so we were just in the beginning stages. Okay? And then unexpectedly, yes, it's hard for me to even say because I've never experienced that before, ever, and Todd is the last person that I would have ever thought would have done something like that, because he was just so full of life. He was so full of energy and happiness, and he was the life of the party. He was a great host. He was always throwing parties left and right, especially during the summer. He was like the go-to place. And he just had this magical ability of gathering everybody from different backgrounds and demographics and kind of bringing everybody together to mingle and network and enjoy each other's company. And I never had met someone like that before I met him. And I think it's hard to put into words how Todd impacted my life. But Ted was living with Todd. Ted had a vehicle that was in Todd's name. So as soon as this happened, I lost Ted. And basically, I had no options other than saying, do you want to come live with me in my 500 square foot apartment? Which is not an option. So, I did my best to help him. He went back home. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit long-winded, but I do just want to, put it all out on the table and express to you guys what I've been dealing with. So, this happened 3 weeks ago. And I went to Todd's memorial. I spoke in front of everybody. I saw everybody. And just being at that memorial was so eye-opening, because you really saw each and every person that Todd influenced and impacted in such a positive way. I just felt like at that moment I wanted to stop wasting time. I wanted to stop, and when I say at that moment, I mean after that memorial when I was driving home. I really just wanted to stop wasting my time with people or things or behaviors that weren't benefiting me or furthering me or advancing me in any kind of way. So I'll get into my next point, which is I started vaping again during this time at the beginning of this month. And it was something that I just kind of started doing out of boredom. It wasn't out of necessity, but I was like, okay, well, I already got broken up with, I'm not really super happy with the current state of my life. I was really stressed out, still trying to find a place to move. And I just figured, so what? Everybody else vapes, it seems like, especially when I was going out to the bars and the parties and stuff. So I started vaping again for about a month, and I don't do it anymore. I quit cold turkey, especially after I got sick. You guys, I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating. All of this happened in the course of a month. So, yes, I got terribly sick after taking an old friend of mine out for his birthday. And mind you guys, this particular friend of mine, we've had falling outs in the past, and somehow we just keep getting over that and seeing each other down the road. And at this point, I'm kind of at a place where there's so much negative events that have happened every time I see this guy that I'm just over it. Like, I'm over it, and I get the point. Like, the universe has showed me multiple times that this is not the person that I need to be going out and spending all this money on and, just giving my energy to. So this person got me horribly sick, and I should have said something when I saw him because, and if he's watching this video, you know what? I don't even care. As soon as I saw him that night, he had a horrible cough, like just the most wet, heavy, like aggressive cough, and it was all night. I'm like, okay, I already Ubered here, like I'm not gonna go home, but I wish you would have told me that you were sick, because I could tell as soon as I got there to his apartment. So we ended up having a good time. I'm like, okay, I have a strong immune system, I'll be okay. 2 days later, I couldn't even get out of bed. Fast forward, I ended up missing a whole week, almost a week and a half of work. Like, I literally couldn't get out of bed. I had no energy to do anything other than lay in bed all day and drink a bunch of water and soup. So that was like the first time I'd been sick in over three or 4 years on that level. So, after that happened, I hopped back into my grind and my work schedule, and I realized, like, wow, it's been a long time since I've posted on YouTube, but now I don't even have a voice. Like, I sound so mucusy. No one wants to hear a video with me sounding like this. So I'm finally feeling back to my normal self, which is why I'm putting this video out now, a month later. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for waiting around for me and sending your support to me and just sending good vibes my way, because March has been such a trying month, like such a trying month, but I still have myself, I still have my belief in the God Almighty above, and I still have ambition for life and hunger for success. And I think when we go through these situations and these periods in life, it's really easy to get down in the slumps and to just get stuck there. But it is difficult to pull yourself out and to really, put your big boy pants on and keep trucking. And I'm here now to share with you guys that that's what I've gone through this past month. I also want to say something that is just so positive and something that I'm so proud to share with you guys. But guess what? I found a new place to move to. And the new place is in Scottsdale. And I'm so excited to be moving to a new location in a much more central location, in a much more entertaining and fun location, around all of my friends, around new possibilities, not, smack dab in the middle of the suburbs, which the suburbs are gorgeous, and, if you enjoy that way of life, more power to you. I've lived here for 2 years now. I need some more action and spontaneity in my life. And I also need to get out of my comfort zone, which being here is my comfort zone. So growth is not going to happen if I just stay in that comfort zone. And I share that with people all the time when they ask me for advice. Usually one of the first things I say is get out of your comfort zone, because when I look back at my past and I see the growth that I've made and how far I've come, I attribute all of it to getting out of my comfort zone and really just getting yourself into it and not worrying about what people think or what could happen that might not be good, or, just all of the negative possibilities. Try to just forget all of that and follow what your heart is telling you. I'm still a little bit hoarse, but, I'm going to keep on trucking through this video. But yes, guys, I got approved for a 3-bedroom townhouse in Scottsdale. I'm so excited. It's got its own little backyard for Lucky, which I am even more excited about. And it's got a attached garage. And everything is just so perfect. Like, I manifested a townhouse. I know you guys probably remember me saying, I'm going to buy a house and this and that and the other. And I still am. But it's just not the right time for me to do that right now. And I'm not even sure, where I want to land. I don't even know if I want to stay in the suburbs or if I want to be in the city or if I want to be in the middle of the desert. Like, there's so many options here in Arizona. I'm just wanting to explore a little more first. So another thing I want to say about my move is that I didn't need a cosigner, and that is huge for me, because even this little apartment right now, when I applied to this place, I had to have my dad co-sign for me because my credit was so horrible after, that huge thing that we all went through in 2020 and 2021. I barely made any money that year, so I honestly don't even know how I got into this apartment, but it truly was a blessing to live here for the past 2 years. But now it's time for me to move up in the world, move on to the next phase in my life, leave behind all of the stuff that was holding me back, holding me down, and just begin to thrive and continue to step out of my comfort zone. Some of my plans for my new home include joining an actual gym, which I don't have an apartment gym like I do now in my new place, so I will have to join a new gym. I also don't have a pool in my new place, so I have a couple in mind. There's some really nice ones around here, well, in Scottsdale, I should say, and I just also really love Scottsdale. I spend a lot of time there, like most of my time. I don't really spend a lot of time in Phoenix anymore, but I've made more friends that live in Scottsdale, and I'm just really excited for my future. At the same time, I am still devastated about what happened with one of my best friends, but as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that life goes on. Life goes on either way, and you really have to be in charge of how you feel and the things that you do and spend your time on, because it is easy to get stuck in the ruts and stuck, down here. It takes a lot of energy to pull yourself up and get up here and keep your vibration high. So that's what I've been working on this past month, and I really just wanted to share that with you guys. Another huge thing I've been working on is, drumroll, my spring candle collection. Yes, guys, my spring candle collection is finally here. It's dropping on April 1st. The original launch date was supposed to be the first day of spring, but, I got horribly sick, and I just literally, I couldn't do it. So I had to move it back to April Fool's Day, but that's okay. That's okay, right? I hope so. But I want to show you guys my spring candle collection. So the title of it, the name of it is Sensational Spring Candle Collection 2023. Let's get into it. Okay, so it took me a while to really hone in on these scents and figure out which scents I wanted to add to the spring candle collection. Because if you guys remember, around a year ago when I started my candle business, I started with spring scents, but it was with 4 spring scents. And I just wanted to make sure that I added totally new, never before smelled scents. And I also wanted to change around the labels and just give the candles an update. So here is the first scent, Lilac Rain. And you know, I love to draw inspiration from things that I already have and that I enjoy. And something that you guys will probably notice is these labels are kind of on the same color scheme as this print right here that I've had for a while. I just like those colors and the way they look together, and they do remind me of spring and like happiness. So I wanted to incorporate that a little bit into my labels. I also wanted to make the labels look more minimal and not so busy, you know, like busy like with graphics and a bunch of tiny writing. So here's a close-up of what the labels look like. I just love this scent so much, you guys. My sister smelled this when she was visiting a couple weeks ago, and she thought it reminded her of a perfume that she had in high school. I didn't really get that sense from it, but you know, everybody's different and everybody attributes scents to different things. So I guess whatever it reminds you of, but that definitely reminds me of in the summer or in the spring when it's kind of warm or hot outside and it rains on like a flower bush, and then you walk past the flower bush and you can just smell that showery, fresh, floral scent. It's just so wonderful. It's like blissful. That's a good word for it. Here's the next one. Canyon Trail. Canyon Trail. A lot of you guys love the musky scents and the more masculine scents. So I wanted to definitely incorporate something more masculine, and this scent smells like Arizona to me. It smells like, I don't know if you guys have ever been out to the desert or Utah or anywhere that's desert and gone hiking, but it's a lot different than hiking on like the East Coast because the smells are different, and one of the biggest, most vibrant smells is almost like a dirt smell. It's like dirt mixed with like a rosemary, and it gets really strong, especially after it rains, of course. It's not creosote, though, because that's that smell that's really popular here in Arizona. It's not that smell. It's like there's a hint of coconut, almost like sunscreen, so you get that summery vibe, but it smells like very earthy. It doesn't smell dirty, but you do smell dirt, but it's not dirty or like it needs to be cleaned. It's very fresh still. So, as you guys can tell, I'm still working on my descriptions, but I just wanted to share these with you guys today because I have been working really hard on them, and I'm so proud of how the labels turned out as well. So that's Canyon Trail. And then the last scent, because I will be doing 3 scents for the spring collection. So some of you guys probably, or maybe you don't remember, but one of the first candle scents I wanted to do was like an orange juice scent. And it's really hard to find a fragrance or to even create a fragrance that smells like that, because most of the orange scents that I've smelled smell like those candles that are supposed to keep bugs away, citronella candles. Most of the orange scents smell like that, and to be honest, I don't really enjoy that smell that much, so I found this, which is very, very much like what I was looking for when I first started my line, and Oh my gosh. They're all just such happy scents, and that's exactly what I wanted for the spring collection. I didn't want anything that was too like standoffish or, out of the ordinary. But these are all scents that I promise you've never smelled before. I promise you. I promise you. So yes, this is citrus sugarcane, and it's kind of like a palish pink label. So citrus sugarcane, I would say definitely reminds me of like a Capri Sun. Like, it reminds me, the first thing that comes to my mind is when I was in summer camp and I had Capri Suns, and sometimes I would spill it on me by accident, and just being out in the sun all day, you would get that like sweet smell mixed in with natural, not musk, but just like a natural kind of fragrance. And this definitely reminds me of Capri Sun mixed with raspberry lemonade. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Raspberry lemonade. This definitely reminds me of raspberry lemonade, and almost like that Simply lemonade and raspberry. I don't know if you guys have ever had that, but it smells just like that to me. So another thing I'm going to be incorporating in the spring candle collection, the Sensational Spring Candle launch, is wax melts. Now, many of you guys probably remember me mentioning wax melts back in, I think, August or September, but I didn't really get a lot of, excitement about that. I didn't get a lot of people asking me about those, so I kind of set it to the side and started working on other launches. But I'm happy to announce that I have created the first ever West Novelties wax melts. I sure did. So here's Lilac Rain. That's what the labels look like. Is it gonna focus? There we go. Lilac Rain. Citrus and sugarcane. And I also just love how minimal these labels look. They were starting to get really busy there, and my initial thought was to add pictures to each label so that you could know what it smells like just by looking at the picture. But I realized you don't need to do that. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I ran out of space on my SD card. But I wanted to make sure that the labels weren't too busy. So I tried to correlate each color with the scent. As you can see, this orangey color is kind of like what a canyon would look like, like a Grand Canyon, or just like reddish dirt that you see out here a lot in the Arizona desert. The pink for citrus sugarcane, because it's very juicy and fruity and citrusy, definitely, and sugary. And then the blue for Lilac Rain, because you get that water scent in there. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry about that. My battery just died out of nowhere. So I guess the YouTube gods are trying to tell me, wrap it up. Let me show you the last thing that I am launching on April Fool's Day. When I launched my mini candles, you guys bought the heck out of them, and I realized that they're super popular, and I kind of regret not doing mini sizes for my winter collection. So I went ahead and redesigned my mini size labels. So as you can see right there, they are labels that just go on the glass jar, and there's nothing on the silver caps of the jars. So I still have the warning labels, and just so you guys know, the regular candles have warning labels too. I didn't show that to you guys. I'm such a mess. But yes, I will be incorporating the 4-ounce mini size candles in case you guys want to get like little testers, just to make sure you like them first. So here are the candles in mini size. Where's the other one? Oh, right here. Alright, well, before this next battery dies, because I see it's only got 2 bars left, I want to wrap this video up, and I want to thank you guys so much for your support, and I also want to thank you so much for your patience, because I know it's annoying waiting and waiting and waiting, especially when you're used to seeing a video from me every week. I promise you guys that I'm back. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe too, because I'm still trying to get that subscriber count up. But we're finally at 20K. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.